Hey everyone, it's Amanda Radke with CK6 Consulting, and today we have exciting news to share that's been a long awaited project that's been in the works. And I'm here today with Chris Earl, who needs no introduction. He is the founder of CK6 Consulting. He is the owner of Reverse Rocking Our Ranch in New Mexico. And I'm really proud to have joined this team that's committed to the cattle industry. CK6 has had phenomenal success in the last 5.5 years, doing $150 million in cattle sales through price discovery in live cattle auctions. And we're taking that concept to beef. So, Chris Earl, let's talk about it. What do we have cooking? What are we excited to announce today on this program?
Well, we've taken a concept and we've talked about it before, Amanda, of price discovery, and we've taken it to the top end of the American protein system. And we're just so excited about it because I think, the American product that is beef, it's raised so differently. There's so much selection pressure on end product merit in this country. It's killed at a younger age on average than any place across the world. And I just think through the years, it has developed itself through the work of hard-working producers and a great country to be a product upon itself. And I just as I went through the business year after year, just really believing that the top end of this product was not a commodity anymore. I just thought it really needed to be price discovered by people that want that experience. We came up with a great team of Bid on Beef. We've had very hardworking people, very good people that we've already vetted to be in our deal to bring the product to market. And we're just excited to really get the money right back to the producer for people and be part of that service.
Well, this has been kind of a lifelong vision that you've had, Chris. Where did it come from? How have you kind of fleshed out this idea and now translating it to a real and viable auction platform where ranchers are going to have the opportunity to let the general public decide what it's worth and what the value is?
Well, I meet thousands of people every year, and I travel 100 to 120,000 miles just on the road every year. And you really realize that people out there have a different wherewithal to do what they want in their life. And I just, it's probably the premise is really I fight socialism wherever I see it, Amanda. And I don't like to equate people. I don't like to cap people. I don't like to tell people what they can be, what they should pay, what they should not pay. And that's why I just love the auction process. I love the process of bringing your wares to town, just like they used to do in the old days, and say, what's it worth, and have confidence in it. I had a meat company years ago back in Illinois. So I got very, very exposed to a lot of parts of the business, and a lot of parts of the business are not commodity. It is selection pressure. It is people based. And I think it really needed to go all the way to the plate. And that's finally at my 57 years of age, we are here, and hopefully we're ready to work hard as a team and bring that money and that product to the public and bring those dollars back to the producer where it
Yeah,
belongs.
absolutely. And we've got a great team assembled of partners. So we have a world-class auctioneer, Wes Tiemann, who's going to be taking the bids and really helping the customer arrive at that final price. And we've got Cody Fleeman on the team. He'll be answering customer service questions. It's going to be working ringside, taking orders, taking bids, making sure that beef gets delivered straight to the customer's door in a tidy fashion. I'll be working on the front end as well as Chris on the marketing and telling the story, vetting the clients and the ranchers that we'll be working with to ensure that it's a high quality beef eating experience every single time. And that means looking at everything from conception, the genetics, the feed, the nutrition, the health, the management, all the way to the packaging, the processing, and the shipping and delivery. So it's a lot to consider. We also have a strategic partner, and that is the Duvals with Texas Beef House. And so, Chris, let's talk about these auctions. We've had 4 pilot auctions before this platform has rolled out with Texas Beef House and Capital Angus. Let me just share this. In 4 sales in 6 months, starting in November 2023, going to April 2024, we've sold through the live auction process with buyers and bidders from all across the country, 5,300 total pounds of Angus and Wagyu beef sold. We've grossed $166,000 plus to average just over $31 a pound. What's your thoughts on results like that?
So I think the results are a direct I think the results directly come from competition comes back into play. And competition is a great American value. And I think that's what we saw in the people that were in front of us, Amanda, as we did it at the auctions. And we saw it on people on the line. And that's the really, in a moment in time, you give the American public the opportunity to own, and that has its own value. And that value is different from person to person. And I think where you have, like Texas Beef House, where you have a substantiated, documented product that's unbelievable, it's just an unbelievable product that we had people that have tasted it, heard about it, new to it, that were all different parts of where they were coming from, able to compete to own it. That's
Mhm.
all I want. We don't want to dictate the price. We don't want to tell people what it is. We just want to give people a chance. I think Dr. Duval had a great line in I think the last sale we did, and it was one of my favorites. He said, "I'll take care of the quality. You take care of the price." And
I
I
love
just
it.
love that concept.
Absolutely. And what's really surprised me, not only are we seeing ranchers really get a true premium for the hard work that they're doing, which is incredible to see a pathway to profitability for ranching families who put in that labor of love each and every year to create great genetics, great cattle, and great beef. But on the flip side, these people are really excited to buy into a story, to buy into a program, to source their beef from someone that they could meet with and shake their hands, and they're willing to pay for it. And it's become, these auctions are a fun experience. We've got people high-fiving and giving each other knuckle pounds and jumping out of their seats, all to buy beef. I mean, did you expect that, Chris, with just like the wild excitement that surrounded this whole thing?
I'm a big believer in people. And I think as I travel and how I was raised and what I grew up in, yeah, I think we're just getting going on this, Amanda. I do. I believe that people want this. I don't think we would have gotten to this point if we had any inkling that they didn't want this. And so as this is happening, I think, look, I want to reach all parts of the country. I want people that are sitting in a, in a cul-de-sac in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, that can feel like they can access a program, a family product in Texas or in Utah. And I want them to get to know that family. I want them to get to know the product. And when they get that experience, and that related to that experience doesn't go to Walmart, doesn't go to a big box store, doesn't go to any of that. It's going to go right. The credit's going to go right back to the family. And my hope is that our platform will set up a competitive nature to where people can come to that platform, really pick and choose from what program they want. And in turn, each program will get that data back, will get that feedback back, and they will get better. And I think that's what the American way is. So, we've signed up as one of our own programs. I mean, my ranch is going to be one of the programs. I'm going to get in, and me, I'm a big fan of this, man. If I'm asking people to other do it or do it, I better get in and do it myself too. So that's what we're going to do. And if it brings 50 cents or it brings $10 on hamburger, we're going to take it. So
Absolutely. And since I know we're speaking to the CK6 audience and the thousands and thousands of people that follow your page each and every month to see what's going on with cattle sales and genetics and what's trending and what's marketable, I want to speak to this ranching crowd because as we shift to the Bid on Beef platform and we're going to be marketing this beef to an urban public, it's a totally different way of speaking. But I want to speak cowboy talk right now and the logistics, the benefits that we can see and the problems that we hope to solve with Bid on Beef. So, Chris, let's talk a little bit about being able to sell at value to get a premium and to maybe eliminate some of the time that's taken for these producers, knowing, yes, there's money if you get closer to that consumer retail dollar, but man, it's a drag sitting at a farmer's market every Saturday trying to sling steaks.
no question. I mean, we have a real premise in our thing. We've said on our consulting thing that we have a opinion, and one of our real opinions is that we like a top end genetic merit base in our genetics that we try and help people with because over the years, Amanda, we have not seen that high end steakhouse fall off in really in any economy. And I think as you go through this thing, and this way of life is challenging, there's no question about it. And you'd like to make a living doing it. And it looks to me like if you can make that 12-year-old cow and make that what can be a prime steak, if you can functionally move towards both ends of the spectrum, you're going to cut a sliver in this business that's going to be phenomenal. Which brings the low end of the calf crop, right? Everybody has a low end. I have not been on a ranch, not been on a farm in my 33 years that didn't have a low end. That's a low end from a physical appraisal or a seed stock way, or even a commercial way, right? We're trying, but what I've seen is those cattle can kill just as well. They can kill just as well. They can be monetized, Amanda, through a process like this that can maybe help a wife or a husband stay at home and be a vital part of the business where you are monetizing that backside of the calf crop. And that for me is huge. Look, there's millions, tens, 20s, hundreds of millions of people that as ranchers and rural people, we are used to a top end product, right? Even if it's a little off, it's going to be the best they've ever eaten, and that is a target and a market that I think is absolutely huge, huge. 300 million people in this country do not raise the food to feed themselves. They have to be accessed. And we're just bringing this way to access those people, give them a choice and say, hey, we've got a heck of a product here. We can tell you all about it. This is my family. This is my ranch. This is my farm. This is how it was raised. This is the sire. This is the dam. And whatever story they want, I want to be able to tell the truth on it. And I want to sell that. So.
And we're doing it with no government program in sight, no handouts, no help ups, just good, honest people bringing a product they're proud of to the marketplace and saying, hey, you tell us what it's worth and we want to serve you. And there's something good about that.
So I think it is. I mean, I think as you look at across the country, some of these big problem things can be overwhelming if you look at them from a 20,000-foot view. But I've come to the reality that we're not going to change those, Amanda, but we can change our circumstance. If we can change our life and our wife's life or our husband's life, and then for we kids, and then for neighbors, and then for the community, and that is the way that. It's the good old standard way. That is the way to best solve this, I think. And I'm not. People can do whatever they do with the rest of their life, but this is a path we're going to set down. This is a path we're going to go. We're twofold right now, Amanda. We're looking for people. We're vetting people that want to be part of this. Either have an Angus-based product, all raised on the ranch or farm, or have an F1 product with Wagyu. Very excited about being able to vet great people and do this. And then we're also looking for customer base. We're also so we have a two-pronged challenge. We're ready to get at it, and we're going to be a growing company that's going to access a lot of parts of the country. So we're ready to go.
Absolutely. And just a real world example of what I'm seeing and what you're seeing too. When we've been on the sale path here the last 6 months at these bull sales, we've met producers sitting in the stands, commercial operators that are going specifically to these auctions, and their wives are circling the bulls with the carcass traits, the marbling merits. And why are they doing that? They're sending their husbands to these sales to buy these top end bulls, knowing that they're trying to make this great beef eating experience so that they can get that consumer retail dollar. And so to me, yeah, we can bring wives home and so they can raise their kids, they can sell some beef, and they don't have to be bogged down with the dealings of trying to sell every day. Instead, through a live in-person auction or an online auction, which both are going to be available through the platform, we're streamlining this whole system and creating opportunities for seed stock and commercial producers alike.
Very, very true. My good friend Fred Lynn's got a great, maybe the best steak in the world that I've ate. Great company, right out of the private sector. We've talked about this on a couple, 3 occasions, and he said you have to control your quality, right? And that's what that hopefully will be my role, is that I can really help give advice on the genetic side, which marbling and end product merit is one of the most highly heritable traits. We can start to influence that. There's things you can do from a producer side. You can do aging processes. Your relationship with your butcher is going to be huge. Your freezing process, how you take advice from our team on seasonality, what kind of cuts, that kind of thing. There's a lot of things, a lot of options, I think, Amanda, that you can do here to bring value to those days that you're auctioning. And the great thing is always about an auction is that it clears the shelves, right? You're going to clear the shelves, clear the books in a 1 to 4 day process. By the time it leaves, that you're going to have this, and you're not going to be chasing individual stakes. You're not going to be chasing things all 30 days. I think it's one of the great attributes of the auction and our platform that we've set up. And hopefully people can see that as a family benefit, a ranch benefit, a farm benefit, and really be able to allocate their time to everything else that's hopefully helping them be successful. So
Absolutely. And competition is going to make each ranch we work with better, and the feedback from
that's
the
our hope.
customers. And I think, yeah, if we can create this elevated high-end beef eating experience for restaurants and consumers to tap into, where they know they can have a trusted and consistent source of beef week after week on these auctions, I think the sky is the limit. So, Chris, I told you it was going to be 5-10 minutes. We've definitely blown past that. I know he's been working cattle all day, and I've got to go put embryos in here. So let's talk about Bid on Beef as the platform. We have a full slate of auctions coming up. Let's talk about the first one out of the gate, Walton's Way Angus Farm in Linwood, New York. What do we have going?
Hands on. I mean, they are hands on. They know every animal like it's one of their kids, Amanda. I'm so excited. They're in a great spot there in Western New York. Dairies all around, very productive, small farms, a lot of wherewithal. They have a lot of relationships throughout the countryside, both commercially, purebred, dairy wise. I just very excited about. They've already had their store up and going. We've come together with them to convince them that let's take this thing to market. Young couple. This is exactly the kind of people, Amanda, that I'm excited about helping, affecting the bottom line. So this thing really makes a lot of sense to them, and they're workers, and they're genuine great people. So anyone that does business with them is going to have a great experience. We're going to be in the middle, being that conduit, and then hopefully making this thing as seamless as possible. And I can't wait to see Wes rocking and rolling on it. So
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Texas Beef House, they're having an online auction on June 21st. It's going to be timed auction, just a 3-day deal. And they're going to be transitioning through the rest of the year, once a month, a hamburger auction, and once a month, a steak auction. So it's going to be a consistent supply throughout this process. And then, Chris, let's talk about Reverse Rockin' Our Ranch and your trademarking something pretty special to offer to the general public.
sure. I mean, I think I've always thought, as I've, thought of this concept, a lot of the generations out there that the younger generations are really hamburger people, right? So we were kind of came from a generation of steaks, and there's still a lot of young people that eat steaks, but they're very particular on hamburgers. So I've always had this concept, Amanda, of putting the ribeye into the hamburger. So we've trademarked a ribeye burger, and we're gonna put the whole animal at a younger age. It's gonna be 18 months or younger, either a bull or a steer or an open heifer that we've raised. That's a purebred. And we're gonna put it all in a hamburger. We're gonna put it to the market every month, or every 45 days. Look, I try and be as honest as I can. My hope is, Amanda, is that a restaurant ties into this, right?
Mhm.
Nothing is more satisfying as a purebred breeder than if your product shows up on a menu, and that we could have this as restaurants or whatever, or that come and buy in volume and buy a product that's documented. And that's our hope, and we're going to stick it to the market. We're going to stay to the market. We're going to keep going, and whatever we get, we're going to get, and that's what we're going to get. And I'm excited to get it there.
Absolutely. Well, folks, if you're interested in participating on the platform, you can reach out to anybody on our team. Chris and I would love to visit with you about your program, your genetics, your goals for direct to consumer beef marketing, and the huge challenge, of course, is we know everybody in the cattle business, but reaching that urban public is going to be a unique challenge outside of our pasture gates. But at Bid on Beef, we're going to be aggressively marketing and positioning ourselves in these urban areas, working with restaurants, working with consumers who want to source their beef from somewhere they can trust. And so our guarantee with Bid on Beef is it's vetted and trusted sellers. It's a rancher to consumer connection. It's coast to coast shipping. And it's honest cowboy dealings, because there's really
Yep.
nothing better than a handshake deal and raising your hands to bid and saying, hey, this is what I'd like to pay for what you're offering today. So I can't wait for the general public to be a part of our cowboy way of life.
We're ready to go. The team's done a great job, and we're ready to whatever niches show up in the front, we're going to fix. And however this moves along, I can tell you one thing: you're going to get every bit of effort from Bid on Beef team, and we have the right perspective on this. And I think it's an idea that I think could see a lot of upside for a lot of hardworking families. So
Well, thanks, Chris, for being on for just a few minutes to explain this and share the great news. Bidonbeef.com is officially launched. The website is live. Go check it out. Be sure to register as a bidder. It's really easy to check in. And when you're there, be sure to add Welcome 10 to your account. So that'll give you $10 on your first auction to go spend. So bid and bid high and bid with confidence, knowing sizzling steaks are in your future. You can savor the win with Bid on Beef. Go check it out. Give us a follow on all social media channels. And yeah, good things are ahead, Chris.
thanks, Amanda. You've done a great, great job on this.